in the scientific world, but for most taxonomies, they also know this species as under Euanthe sanderiana. So, let's leave it na lang sa mga taxonomies yung kung ano yung correct description sa scientific name niya, no? Anyway, ang pinaka-importante dito, yung importance ng waling-waling sa mga Filipinos and to the orchid industry. Now, waling-waling has been used in hybridization way back in the early 30s. Ganun katagal na. Although, the discovery was made during the late 20th century, mga 1880s, 1890s. The breeding of Vanda sanderiana was started only after mga 1920s. And then after they discovered na maganda mga napupudos na hybrids, they decided to use it more sa breeding. Kaya maraming mga new hybrids in the orchid scene or orchid industry na using Vanda sanderiana as the parent. And then nagkaroon ng demand from Europe and also in other places. So nagkaroon ng mga collecting ng species from the jungles, and because of this interest, nababawasan yung number ng population sa habitat. And dun sa habitat, it's only found in the southwest and southeast portion. Also sa south din pala ng Mindanao. Kaya lang, dahil sa restricted yung kanyang requirements sa habitat, iilan lang yung patches or areas na may pwede mag-thrive yung species. And then it takes a while also to grow the species. Usually mga 8 to 10 or 12 years bago siya mag-flower. So, you could see, medyo parang matagal mag-recover pagka binawasan sa forest yung plant. Bago lumaki uli yung mga seedlings, ang tagal 70s, na nagkaroon siya ng mood para gawin siya national flower. Okay, kasi yung national flower natin is Sampaguita, which is not endemic or found in the Philippines. Itong Vanda sanderiana is only found in Mindanao and restricted lang sa southeast and southwest and south Mindanao, namely Davao, Cotabato, Mindanao, and also in some areas in North Cotabato. Yan lang yung makikitang areas na merong waling-waling. Meron kasing system to pollinate the flower where you can collect the pollen and then insert it sa female part, which is the stigmatic surface. In one flower, you have both sexes ng flower na pwede mo sila i-unite. All you have to do is just itong nasa column part, yung sa gitna, meron parang mata dyan. Yan yung pollen. You just collect the pollen and then insert it dito sa may parang underneath the pollen. This is the column on top, and then underneath, meron siya parang kanal dyan. You just insert the pollen, and then you can fertilize yung fruit. Magiging fruit siya, yung flower, maging fruit siya, and then magkikerry siya ng maraming maliliit na seedlings. Now, if you grow this in sterile condition as a bottle, you can grow as many as 20,000 seedlings. But you have to grow it for the next 8 years. But since they have discovered that this is the best way to propagate the plant, hindi yung hayaan na siya sa nature. Kasi pag hayaan mo siya sa nature, iilan lang seedlings mag-sprout. And since yung seeds ng sanderiana and most orchids are powdery, So napakaliit na para dumapo siya sa isang side or isang crevice, isang butas ng puno para hindi siya mag-slide out, and then para mag-germinate siya and kakapit siya, and napakaliit niya, pwede siya mapatay ng fungi or overwatering. But inside the bottle, medyo protected siya. For 1 year, pwede mo siya i-grow doon. Pwede siya lumaki na walang papatay sa kanya. So, this system is called the flasking system, where you put in nutrient agar doon sa bottle na yan para makuha ng halaman habang nag-grow siya. So this way, we can ensure yung population na mas marami mag-grow sa isang bottle. So in one seed capsule, we can actually grow more seedlings dito sa bottle rather than letting it grow sa nature. So once nag-grow na siya, it takes a while. So to get this size, from the powdery form is another 4 years, 3 to 4 years. So it takes a while. So imagine if you grow 10,000 to 20,000 plants, maging ganito yun, mas assured pag nasa bottle. Okay? That's why we need also yung advanced technology and the best techniques para i-ensure yung pag-propagate ng halaman. And by using the flasking method, in vitro ang tawag doon, and micropropagation, they have ensured yung population ng mga difficult to grow species such as waling-waling. And meron mga techniques dito which I can give you yung information later para hindi maubos yung oras sa interview. No? Okay. So, yung ganito, 4 years na, and then you can grow it to be this size. From this size to this size is another 3 to 4 years. And then another 2 years or 3 years to reach this size, which is flowering size. Okay? So yung ganitong size, actually pwede na mabenta. This man has discovered a way kung paano i-ensure yung population para hindi na tayo kailangang kumuha sa forest. Kasi kung lagi tayo collect sa forest, tapos marami yung nagkaka-interest, baka mas marami pa yung pag-collect kaysa yung population. Pero in this process, pag ginawa natin sa bottle siya, hindi na tayo kailangang kumuha sa forest ng lagi. Ang gagawin lang natin, from one plant, we can produce a lot of seedlings na mas sure siya maparami natin. So, yung mga dapat na interested enthusiasts, mga collectors, should also contribute yung part nila. Kung meron sila na-collect na mga rare specimens na pwede gamitin sa breeding, and then sa near future pwede tayo mag-planting again sa habitat ng waling-waling. Kasi ang pinaka-importante sa waling-waling, yung habitat na kailangan perfect sa kanya, medyo tama yung amount of sunlight, and then tama yung altitude, which is about 300 meter elevation up to 800 meter elevation, and then under at least 100 to 200 feet high na tree, and then along ravine, and then malapit siya sa may river para may presence of moisture at least 70% humidity, and then filtered sun during the noonday time, hindi siya masusunog. Kasi kailangan may canopy of branches para during tanghali, hindi siya ma-direct sun. Pag early morning sun, okay lang siya ma-direct. Pero pagtaas-taas ng araw, meron na siyang canopy of leaves and branches, filtered sunlight na siya. Hindi siya masusunog. So, if you can provide the right moisture, the right amount of rainfall, sa Davao kasi perfect yung ulan nila. Minsan sa umaga lang, early morning umulan, tapos pagdating 6 o'clock wala nang ulan, tapos araw na, perfect yung moisture, perfect yung environmental conditions na gusto niya, and then perfect yung sunlight, amount of sunlight, and then the shade temperature is also perfect, which is roughly around 80 degrees or 75 degrees. Yun lang kailangan niya. But if you cannot provide that environment sa kanya, hindi siya masyado mag-grow ng maayos. So tulad dito sa Manila, medyo mas mainit, we have to provide netting. para ma-reduce yung sunlight. So in short, if you really want to be successful when it comes to growing, particularly Sanderiana, you have to study yung requirements niya. You give it, you provide it, and then ma-ensure mo yung yung buhay ng halaman, hindi siya mahihirapan. Mas madali siya mag-grow, mature, and then mag-flower. Walang problem. Okay? So, that's it.